have Veronica with us, Veronica Bergr. She's an amazing, amazing actress. I'm going to let her tell you guys the story about how we met, how we were going to work together, and so on. I just absolutely love her acting. I love her looks. I love everything about this girl. Veronica, tell us a little bit about yourself.
We met through, auditioning for your film Trapped that I'm excited to see in the future. And I got down to like the last few people, and I had to unfortunately decline the role. And then, you know me, like we were keeping in touch like the few months afterwards, and I was kicking myself for it. But honestly, the cast you had casted for the other roles that you hadn't filled yet are absolutely amazing. I think they fit like the roles absolutely perfectly. Like I don't think it could have been any better. So when I saw that, I felt so like relieved in the sense of I'm so happy like the vision is coming to life, you know? It's not what's it called? Like a miss, you know? So
I think it all fell into place and everybody gave it 100%. I want everybody to know about you. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I started doing acting like seriously, like deciding I'm gonna do this on the daily or weekly, you know, auditioning and stuff in May of last year, May of 2022, after I graduated my BA concentration in psychology. I always loved acting. I started first like performing in a sense. Well, yeah, of course, performing, not with acting, but singing since I was like the age of 5 or 6. That's kind of where I started that journey. I did it till I was like 18, did a choir, um, like glee club in high school and elementary school, the talent shows, took lessons for years. The only way I stumbled into acting was in when I transitioned to high school, and I went into the drama improv program for 5 years, and I absolutely loved it. Um, I loved my teacher. She was amazing. She was great. I actually miss her to this day. I don't even know if she knows if I took acting seriously or not afterwards, because like I know I had a lot of like her especially, and some other teachers told me to do that. But after high school, I really was not sure about it because it's such a risky business, as you know. And I think I was trying to figure out myself and what I want to do. So I went to school, sometimes took time off, just worked. I traveled a lot for like a young age, because I really do love traveling. And that's like a little, I guess, something about myself that even to this day. So like the past a year and a half of grinding and working so much, I felt like about a month ago I was close to like a little bit of a burnout. I'm because I'm like I miss like traveling and seeing things, but I'm like no, you gotta stick to the goals. But with this business, you also have to, I guess, work and life balance, because if not, it can get too overwhelming and stressful. And yeah, like of course you don't want to burn out, right?
So why do you love acting?
Telling a story and bringing characters to life and putting myself in other people's shoes, that is probably the biggest thing that I enjoy about acting, besides the fact that I love improv because I did it for 5 years, and I love the in moment aspect of it and having fun, because I think improv is a lot of fun in comparison to maybe other techniques. But yeah, I always like, yeah, making a story come to life and being someone else for a short period of time is just always, I don't know what it is. There's just something so special about it. You know, like we have one life, and sometimes we live in this life thinking, oh, I'm just myself always. And I wonder what I'm going to be in like the next life, right? If you believe in like reincarnation and stuff, right? So it's fun to be able to, I guess, dive into other people, even the simplicity of sometimes they want you to wear a wig on set or dye your hair, and just, being able to explore things you never would do on the daily, maybe.
You are also modeling. Now, how do you combine these two, acting and modeling?
I have done modeling, a lot of more collaborations and I guess more commercial modeling. Um, and I never had an agent for that or anything because I'm short. As you know, I'm on the shorter side. And at least in Canada where I grew up and stuff, I guess they prefer someone who is tall. So they be able to like cater to every aspect, especially with smaller agencies, perhaps. I honestly don't know the whole gist of it, but I've applied over the years for even for fun, and they always would tell me I'm too short. Like that was always the answer. And it was at a point I was like, it's okay. You know what? I'm grateful for my face and what I've been given, even if I'm not tall. So yeah, like a lot of modeling came from just meeting people online or independent stuff, just kind of like how indie filmmaking is, right? But yeah, so I think also that's another thing of what came from wanting to take acting seriously, just because I'm like, I'm not getting any younger, let me like fully commit to it finally. And I said, just because I can't do modeling, there's so many, I guess, modeling aspects when it comes to film as well. So I said, at least the interrelation between the two and diving into that.
What is the difference between a modeling camera, right? So when you're in front of a camera and you're taking stills versus the camera that you are in front of for films. So do you transform yourself differently? Is that a shorter period where you go to express and convey your emotion for the photography side of things versus a longer period when you have the camera rolling and you're walking and so on? What's the difference?
Acting is so much more deeper than modeling in certain ways. Like I'm not very good with I feel like modeling also comes with the body and doing like the great angles and all that stuff. And I don't think I'm the best at that. Like I prefer a photographer to kind of tell me how to like position myself. I can be awkward, I find, with my body. Maybe I'm just being critical of myself. But with acting it's so different. I'm just playing a character and going with it, and there's no pose for it. There's no um it's just completely different. I mean, when you're on camera for acting, you're not looking into the camera unless they specifically want you to, so it's like a comedic aspect. Usually that happens in some comedies. You're focusing on a scene, displaying what emotions coming from the scene, how sometimes you're just feeding off the other actor, where modeling usually you're looking in the camera most of the time. And you're selling a product, or you're have to do something that's very, I guess, high end. But even that though, I think a lot of my modeling I've done was almost like in like what's candid modeling. So like I've done modeling for even like simply like a restaurant where you have to be smiling and like eating a burger. So like I always like did those more acting aspects of modeling, which I guess that's why acting always felt so natural for me. So I think those were like the most fun modeling I've had, and other ones were just collaborations sometimes, just to get some like great photos, or they wanted to use it for their portfolio and stuff. So
What do you do for acting? Are you still going to school? What's your process? Like, will you get up in the morning and do what for acting?
I usually, well, like the past year and a half, I was so swamped with auditions. I mean, I was constantly practicing within an audition, if that made any sense. When I would have little breaks where maybe there was nothing coming in for a week or two, or I just didn't feel connected to a project to audition for it, um, I usually take like a class. That's kind of like how I go about it. I like to take classes that are completely new that I haven't taken before. Like this year I took some voiceover animation classes. I took some dialect classes. I would like to find a acting coach that I want to always work with. I'm probably gonna have to like do some like dive deep digging and stuff because, even though some people are just gonna say, well, you're gonna have to test out the waters and find the right one. But on the daily, I think I don't know if any actor on the daily acts. I'm not really sure about that. I think they need a little break sometimes.
So, Veronica, tell us how you go about choosing your roles.
In regards to like a role I know I really want and I'm very much interested in it is usually happens after I apply. Like I'll apply for something if they give me an audition back and usually I'll audition and sometimes it piques more my interest than others. Um usually the ones I'm a very big, I think, like thriller and psychological thriller film buff. So like those ones always like pique my interest the most. I'm like, oh, this would be so great if I could get this. It always like I guess gets me a little bit excited, but I do love every genre, But I think those are the ones that really I enjoy. I think also like depth to the character. Sometimes when I feel like it could be a little bit superficial, a character, it doesn't like attract me as much, if that makes any sense.
How did you go about applying for Trapped?
If I'm correct, backstage, yeah, I applied and you had reached out fairly quickly. I think we did a Zoom first. Yeah, like a
Do you
Zoom
think
first.
backstage is a good place for actors to go and find jobs?
In my experience, there's a lot of stuff from the States, a lot of projects, less so in Canada. There's the application Mandy that is, I think, interconnected with Backstage. I don't know if it's the same owner, but now apparently they've, I guess, um, combined or something like that. So I feel like, yeah, if you want to apply for projects in the States, then for sure, I think it's a great platform to for actors to use.
So, what was your process there with Trapped? You applied for it, and then what?
As an actor, you don't tend to get attached before you've even gotten an audition. Even after an audition, like I've learned not to get attached to projects because you don't know what the outcome will be sometimes. And imagine every time you do an audition and you're just crying because you're like, so you have to, I guess, put on like a game face and know it's like all seriousness until you actually like get a role, if that makes any sense. Most you could do is be yourself and do a great audition, right?
Walk us through the journey of Trapped with the auditioning and so on.
I was I was thinking it was very quick. I think you had got back to me fairly quickly, but I'm not too sure. And we had a great Zoom meeting. I was like so thrilled. I'm like, this guy is great. He's so nice and like genuine because you don't always get that. And then you wanted to see an audition. So I had sent a self tape and then I think I saw you again for a Zoom and it was a great experience. I've been lucky enough to have some great experiences within the auditioning process and like staying in touch with people after I didn't even get a role or I was down to the last few people. So I've been really grateful for that, because not in any industry there's not always positive instances and experiences, right?
When you and I were going to work together, what had
Mm.
happened was I had chosen everybody on the team. Like all my actors were in place, and I
Right.
wanted to start rehearsals. And at the same time, I was making another film, a French film in France. I was filming that, so I was going back and forth. And I think once I met with you, and I said, okay, Veronica is the girl. I let it down for I think some time, and I went over to France. I think it was something to that effect. By the
Yeah.
time we were offered another job, uh,
Mm.
and at that point, I came back and I was supposed to go back again, and I went and I got someone else. So that journey of Becky was a very long one. I just could not find the right girl. And then I
Mm.
found you, and then I found another girl who also, you see what happened with you and I was that you got the job and then you were offered another job, so you went away. And then with this other girl, we gave her the job, and then she wasn't giving off the character. She wasn't giving me what I was looking for.
Okay.
Um, and then we found our chosen one, and and Lydia came in, and I had already committed to another girl.
Yeah.
I was rehearsing with her. I had had two
Oh,
rehearsals already with the other girl. And what happened was I just felt the wall was not falling.
okay.
And Lydia got in touch with me, and I said, let's do a thing. Everybody thought I was absolutely crazy because I'd already given the job to another girl.
Mm,
Lydia gets on the phone and, I mean, on the Zoom call, speaks. And like, this girl there's something there. So I said, let me just keep on pushing her and not giving her the job. And I kept on pushing and pushing and never giving her the job. So she did like three Zoom calls with me. And I said, okay, Lydia, I'm not going to give you the job, but I'm traveling to France.
mm.
Want to rehearse with me over there? And she said, sure. And she got on to the Zoom call. I was in France and she rehearsed over there. I still didn't give her the job. I,
My God.
I came back to New York and I had her rehearse with other actors, but I still didn't give her the job because I already have one person I've committed to.
Yeah.
Line, her enthusiasm of
Mm,
wanting the job and her want was so much. And she was showing amazing skills in
mm.
the non-hired auditions that I was having and the Zoom calls that I just dropped the other girl and I said, okay, let's go. And she got
Wow. She's great. So you did a right you did the right decision.
she's great. She was great. So, Veronica, tell me, where do you expect your career to go?
You know what? I have like a manifestation list. I don't think I can share it. I don't know how that works like that. But of things I want to accomplish and I actually sorry, when you manifest, you're not supposed to say I want to accomplish. You said I will accomplish. So
Uh,
but yeah, I want to work on as many projects as I can, but not just many in the sense of projects that I guess I will enjoy and feel connected to. And, it's going to be like the best uh, decision for me within my like acting career and all that stuff. Um, I want to do like feature horror, feature thriller, drama. I mean, I'm all for every genre, every character. I mean, I'd love to play someone who's like evil. I love it all, honestly. I love being able to channel in all the different emotions when it comes to acting. Some people say, "Oh, I don't like playing like I don't like playing a girl who's shy, or I only like playing strong characters." But I really enjoy being able to do all those different types of characters because in reality, not everyone's strong. Like not every person has that type of character, so you have to, I guess, shine every type of personality, right? But yeah, I'm hopes to just continue my journey and continue creating and working with great people. Yeah, the big goal is to, I guess, get a supporting role or a lead in a feature. That's like I guess my next check mark. But yeah, there's so many things I want to do in regards to acting, even animation. I love doing voiceover animation. Like that would be such a great goal to accomplish, working on either like a TV or a movie project. So yeah, we'll see.
is there such plan? Like, do you have a plan? I'm going to do this for this year, this for this year. I'm going to do XYZ schools and whatnot. So, what is your plan to achieving those dreams?
My future, yeah, like I plan to take more classes, do auditions, collaborate with people, get the right representation. That's important too, it depends where you want to go with, acting. Like I have friends who are actors and it's more of like a side thing for them and like they'll have an agent, but maybe it's not like their dream to be like, you know, like a huge actor. They kind of always, they either started when they were younger and they just have this agent for years, and they have like another job that's like their full goal, you know. I feel like everyone when it comes to acting is so different. You know, but I kind of go with the flow, but I always, you know, like sometimes things fall into your hands, you know, you make a good impression with someone and then you get an opportunity. So I think it's super important to be yourself and still commit and give the passion and energy towards it, because people see that regardless if you got a role or not, right?
Thanks for coming on, and thanks for helping the audience to know who you are and where. So, why don't you tell us where they can find you?
Find me, I mean, on my social medias by my name, Veronica Bergr. My last name spelled Brgr. Yeah, usually like I and on my IMDb, there's like some projects I've worked on, some short films and like upcoming features. But yeah, that's kind of, I guess, where people can look me up by my name.
Thanks for coming on, Veronica. Always pleasure meeting you.
Yes, always a pleasure speaking with you.